Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib, and we have a good show for you today. And if you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now at 323-870-3857. And we'll be here till about 8 o'clock tonight. And tonight, we are going to talk about Deontay Wilder, maybe out of the running to face Tyson Fury. We'll explain why. And we're going to break down Beeb. This is the fight of the year so far, right?
Without question.
Right? Without question. I mean, this
we're going to make a lot of money next week, man. We're going to double, which we're going to almost triple up our money next week. This bet will be, this fight next week is going to be groundbreaking for Beeb Industries. It's going to put us over the top.
Groundbreaking.
Earth-shattering. Not even groundbreaking, earth-shattering. I know Robbie's going to come on today.
I'll be paying Beeb's mortgage by the end of next month. I guarantee this.
Robbie's going to come on today. He's going to start sniffing around for picks. I know what he's doing.
Yeah, Robbie. He texted me the other day. I didn't get a chance to get back to him. It's been a real busy week, man. I didn't get a chance to text him back or whatever. But apparently his podcast is moving or whatever. So he may have a little time to call in and stuff like that.
I heard his podcast is going out of business.
Oh, stop it. Stop it, Beeb. What's the matter with you?
So he's going to be looking for a job pretty soon.
Oh, stop it. Oh, my gosh. What's the matter with you?
Oh,
all right. Let's get it started here. ESPN, Charles Conwell versus Wendy Toussaint. French guy, I guess. Middleweights, Charles Conwell beats Wendy Toussaint by 9th round KO. It was an uppercut that took him out. Yeah, not much here. It's kind of what we all expected, I think. So it is what it is, you know. Also on ESPN, the big one this week, it was big for this week anyway, Emmanuel Navarrete versus Ruben Villa, the WBO featherweight title on the line here. Navarrete beats Villa by unanimous decision, 114-112 twice and 115-111. Navarrete scored knockdowns in the first and fourth rounds. After the fight, he called out Josh Warrington. Beeb, what were your thoughts on this fight?
You know, they talk about Navarrete being so unorthodox and just being really unconventional, but there's a method to his madness. We all know that. I think he's the thing about him is he just throws punches very weirdly. Like he'll have his hand hanging down by his waist, and all of a sudden he'll just kind of turn it and twist it into a hook. He's just hard to gauge. If you're an opponent of his, it's just hard to figure out where those shots are coming from, and the way he's able to just reel those punches off and be able to generate power. He's just a very, very tough nut to crack. And I think moving forward, a lot of guys are going to have a hard time figuring out. And he's a very solid puncher, phenomenal shape, brings a high work rate as well. But with all that unconventional tactics that he does display, he still throws a really nice straight jab, really does work off it well, does how to gauge distance very well, sets up shots. But a lot of people are saying this fight was competitive, this was close. I didn't see that. I thought Navarrete won at bare minimum 8 rounds, and then you throw the 2 knockdowns in there. I just don't think the fight was that close, to be honest with you. I thought Villa made Navarrete work in these rounds, but once again, just because you're making a guy work doesn't, we're not going to give you rounds just based on the fact that you're trying hard. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that's the time. I mean, that's what I say, man. It's you can't just. I always go back. The one fight I always go back to was the De La Hoya Steve Forbes fight, where De La Hoya clearly was winning every round. He didn't blow Steve Forbes out in the sense that every round was competitive And Steve Forbes was trying. He just wasn't doing enough to win those rounds.
Wasn't winning rounds.
So, and you can't really give a guy, the round if he's not winning the round. Just because he's competitive and he's got heart doesn't mean he's winning the round. It's just the way it is, man. The way it is.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So, what about Josh Warrington next? You think Navarrete beats him? You think the fight comes off?
Well, I thought that Kid Galahad beat Warrington.
I thought Kid Galahad beat him too. I thought Kid Galahad beat him soundly. I mean, that's the other thing. I thought he beat him soundly.
I had that fight 8-4 for Kid Galahad. And once again, that's another guy who was thought to be unconventional, a guy that doesn't do things always by the book. Has a little bit of Prince Nassim Hamed in him as well.
A lot of Prince Nassim in him, yeah.
But for that fight, he fought a very measured fight, a very methodical fight. He had a great game plan going in, and he boxed wonderfully in that fight. He showed great boxing ability from the outside in that fight, moving in and out and working off that. His jab was incredible that night. So people are going to look at this fight and say, well, Josh Warrington's the more well-rounded guy. But we thought that going into the Kid Galahad fight as well.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Warrington to win.
I did too.
I thought Warrington was going to win that fight going away.
I thought it was an easy fight for Warrington.
Yeah, and it was anything but that. So I don't want to. I would want to think and say that Warrington would win that fight against Navarrete, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure. I give Navarrete a shot in that fight. I really do.
And Kid Galahad never got another shot.
Never.
And I don't even know like when the last time he's fought or who he's fighting or anything like that either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Such a sad state. I mean, they robbed that kid big time. Before we get moving to the upcoming schedule here, Nonita K in the chat just asked just a kind of an off-topic question, but that's okay. We'll answer it. Just watched an interview with Buster Douglas, and all the people in the comments swear Tyson got robbed by a super long 10 count. Your thoughts? Sorry, I know it's off topic. My thoughts is this: he didn't get robbed. He got knocked out. Listen, if you're Buster Douglas, you're following the count. I'm not listening to the ring. You're following the ref's count. This is such a non-issue. I mean, everybody. Let me tell you what. Everybody is hating on Buster Douglas because the bottom line is you follow the ref's count, nobody else's. You know what I mean? And the fact that you can blame, listen, if you want to put blame on the ref, whatever. Still doesn't fact that he lost every round, with the exception of that round. Every single round. And then got knocked out 2 rounds later. Was almost out 1 round later.
Eric, you and I both know this. We could put a stopwatch on right now.
Yeah.
And both of us can count to 10. We one of us or both of us may either both count to 10 faster than that stopwatch or longer than that stopwatch.
Right.
Everyone counts to 10 differently. Every single clock in the world isn't identical. They're all off a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's a 10 count. It's not a stopwatch.
Yeah.
They don't use a stopwatch. They don't use, and anyone that pulls the stopwatch out and says, see, no, that's not how it works.
Wasn't that what they tried to do with the Tyson Fury fight as well? With the Tyson Fury and try to give him a long, said it was a long count or a short count or
Idiots.
Stop, man. Just follow the rules. That's it. It's real simple. He followed the rules and that's it. That's the way it goes, man.
I mean, what's next? What do you think we're going to have? Like a computer in there, with a voice, like a Google stopwatch? Okay, Google, count to 10. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Like that's not how it's going to work.
And he says, Nonita says, sure, it wasn't Douglas's fault. The ref was at 2. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The ref has control of the fight, not the timekeeper.
He's following the referee's count. That's it.
That's it. And no, I don't believe the ref was incompetent.
How could the ref be incompetent? Why? Why?
I mean, how about Tyson was incompetent in that fight? How about his corner was incompetent in that fight? How about they didn't bring an Enswell to the fight? You know, how about they couldn't take care of the swelling in that fight? That's the thing, man. That's what you got to understand. It's like, you know, we can go on and on. Was it a long count?
I'm gonna turn my stopwatch on right now. I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna count to 10 as soon as it starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what my stopwatch says right now? 12.82 seconds.
Yeah. Beeb gave a long count.
That's how every referee counts like that. 1, 2, 3. No one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What referee does that?
Right.
Name a referee that does that. So my 10 count took 12.82 seconds. 12.28 seconds. I've never seen a referee go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get up now. Who does that?
Nobody.
No one.
Nobody.
Stop.
All right, let's go to the phones real quick. Georgie from Rikers calling in early today. I like it. Georgie, you're live.
Hey, yeah! What's happening, people?
What's happening?
How you doing, Princess?
What we talking about? We talking about crawling. They got a time. Yo, babe, you gotta walk with me this, brother.
What's up? What can I do for you?
So you understand that not everybody, check this out. So you understand that not everybody got the same time clock.
That's what I just said.
Right? Everybody count different.
Of course.
Right? So we agree on this.
My 10 count just took 12.
So when a referee, okay. Hold on a second. Let me burn this little bit here.
He asked you a question and it says, let me burn.
I know how you guys feel.
I love it.
Yeah, you'll burn all right.
No, but check this out, because we got limited time. I know you got to bounce at 8. But let's talk about that Chavez fight, right? Chavez Taylor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Then we had, I believe was it at the beginning of the summer, somebody fought and we had that outcome. It was sort of the same outcome. That it wasn't there was only like 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
2 seconds.
And dude got hurt, gets up, and only with few seconds remaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The motherfucking fight gets stopped.
Couldn't answer the ref.
Right?
Couldn't answer the ref.
So we got these precedents, but follow me in this rabbit hole. We got these precedents about time. And if it is so confusing for the referee to have the same count, right? Because it's not second, it's the count. And on top of that, he got to count also the seconds that will be in the last 10 seconds. Doggy, that's too much to ask for a fucking human being. That's why the referee only got to focus on his count. Whatever is remaining on the clock is not even important. If it is enough time for the guy just to survive the round or just to get TKO, that's irrelevant because it's too much time in somebody's fucking mind in that type of situation. So, yeah, I agree with you, but the other side also got a point. This shit is like, boxing is so hard to fucking judge. It is crazy, bro. It is. Because that type of situation, then you asking so much for somebody to fucking manage. How the motherfucker could be right or wrong? Go ahead. That's not a...
well, not to interrupt
real question.
Not to interrupt you, but sometimes there isn't a right or wrong. It's up to the discretion of the referee.
Right.
Not every referee is going to do everything identical.
You know, and maybe the referee thought he picked up the right time from the timekeeper. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't seen the fight in years, so I don't know. I don't know, like, the intricacies of what happened in that 8th round because...
Listen, I talked
to me, it wasn't a long count because Tyson was getting pounded the entire night, you know?
I talked to Steve Smoger before.
So we all can agree. So we all can agree that two things could be true at the same time. Many things could be true at the same time.
Well, the one thing that cannot be disputed is that Buster Douglas won the fight by knockout. Can't be disputed.
That's a fact. That's history from the book.
Huh?
It's in the book. But there's so much controversy in boxing. That's one of those cases. You know how many times
I don't think there was any controversy in that fight. There was no controversy in that fight as far as I'm concerned. None.
I can take 10 referees, 10 counts.
In what fight?
I can take 10 referees, 10 counts. I just did my 10 count. You can do a 10 count.
Eric, you're telling me that you didn't throw a long count.
There's no such thing as a long count.
That's one of the longest count I ever seen, bro.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a long count.
Not every time.
No.
Georgie, count to 10. Do a count right now. Do a count right now. Ready?
Nonita says that if you watch Jack Reese says the ref must pick up the.
Let me count.
What? Ready?
Let me count. Let's see how good I do.
Guys, don't count. I'm tired of the counting. We all know what the count is.
Let me go.
Christ.
Let me go.
Go ahead.
1,000,
This is so boring, guys.
3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000.
Good. Done.
That's a quick count.
Oh, you know, okay, you know what? No, because now you know what the stop clock says right now? 8.65 seconds.
Yeah, the fast count, George.
Yours was a fast count.
Right? You see, that's a
okay. And
that's a
Nonita's
fast count. So we understand, right? But it's a count. It's not second count.
All right, you're getting Eric aggravated now. You're getting Eric
aggravated here. I want to put you on mute for a minute. So Nonita says that the interview, he says that Jack Reese says that, you got to, we all know this. Yeah, we know he's supposed to pick up the count from the ref or from the timekeeper.
But he still has to finish it through. He still has to finish it.
Who has to finish that count? Number one.
With his own cadence. Not
what Nonita was saying. No, that's okay. What Nonita was saying was that he picked up the count at 4. Or he picked up the count at 2 and the guy was holding up 4 fingers. That I don't know. I mean, maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe maybe the ref made a mistake in the sense that Buster Douglas's job, okay? It doesn't matter if it was on 6. Buster Douglas's job is to get up before the count reaches 10. Buster Douglas listened to the ref. Case closed.
But here's the thing. He's not sitting there going 1, 2, 3. Like he didn't use his whole fingers to do the whole count. Maybe he just put 4 fingers up just to put 4 fingers up.
Maybe he saw 2. Maybe whatever. I mean, I don't know.
That is so irrelevant. So if you pick up the count at 3, you still have to finish the count with your own cadence.
Right.
So, okay, 3, 4. So you can just go on from there.
Right. All right, let me bring Georgie back on here. All right, Georgie, go ahead.
Listen, Eric, nobody's minimizing Buster Douglas' performance. This man won. It's not about him. We're talking about count. How it's a controversy on boxing. The
referees count. Listen to me. I'm gonna explain it to you. The referees count is not the controversy in the sense that he counted from 1 to 10 in 10 seconds. That's not the controversy. The controversy is, did he pick up the count at the right moment from the timekeeper? Because when a guy goes down, the timekeeper starts counting immediately. The controversy is, did he pick up the count from the timekeeper? Okay. That's the controversy, not the length at which he counted, not the seconds of which he counted.
Hold on a second, because this is this is Twilight Zone. How the fuck picking the count late, right? That's what you're saying. Picking the count late is not fucking have nothing to do with the equation of fucking having a late count. If he's picking the count late, he's gonna have a late count.
That's not the question.
What are you saying,
the duration of the count.
Bro, listen, I just don't get it.
Okay, the duration of the count. The duration of the count is not in question.
Then he's on his count. It's a long count.
The duration of the count, I'll say it again. The duration of the count is not in question.
What the rule said.
Listen to me.
The
duration of the count is not in question. The fact is, the thing in question is when he picked up the count from the timekeeper. Okay,
but that's the whole thing. Why the count is long, Eric? That's the point we're trying to get across. If he picked up the count
was long.
Therefore,
it wasn't the duration of the count. The count was long because he picked up. This gentleman is saying that he should have picked up the count at 4, but instead he picked up the count at 2. That would equate to a 2-second or a 2.
Let me make these last points so you can get to the next caller.
There's no rule that he even has to use. He doesn't even have to use the timekeeper's count if he doesn't want to. He only does that because he has to take time to get the guy to put him in the guy
to the corner, right?
Get the neutral corner. He doesn't. There's no rule that says you have to use the timekeeper. You don't have to use a timekeeper. That's a tool he can use. There's no requirement for the referee to use the timekeeper.
Right.
There's no requirement for that.
But if we go with that logic, Eric, if we go with that logic, and he pick up the count late. Let's say he used that tool. Let's give it a giving. He used the tool. If he used it and he picked up the count late, therefore there cannot be other outcome than what? A late long-ass count. If
that was the case, then why wouldn't the timekeeper just do the count? Why wouldn't the timekeeper just do the count instead of the referee?
Right. Why is that? Why wouldn't the timekeeper do the count?
Why wouldn't the timekeeper do the count instead of the referee? What the fuck is the referee there for then?
Fact.
I'll tell you this: Tyson didn't need a count.
For you, my brother.
He got K'd. He got K'd.
Case closed.
Case closed.
There's no rule that says the referee even has to. The referee doesn't even have to pick up the fucking time.
That's that.
He doesn't even have to look over there if he doesn't want to.
It's over.
There's no rule.
Travel away without work. Let him know, Beeb.
This is so fucking funny. This is hilarious.
My body bag. Representing Big Town. Beeb. Got him. Listen, I gotta go. Everybody out there, support the channel, donate, set up to the UK. I love you, and I'm out.
All right. Good call. Caller of the year right there, Georgie.
Yeah.
Boxing, okay. It says here, boxing requires a timekeeper after a knockdown to immediately begin calling off the seconds, indicating the count, the motion, blah, blah, blah. After ordering the other box, the referee is to pick up the count from the timekeeper, indicating it with a motion from his arm. So I don't know if it works. I know that's what I thought too. I thought that he had to pick up the count from the timekeeper, but I don't know. Maybe it's different in different sections. But I know that's how it works in boxing. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that's a solid rule. I know that's what he's supposed to do, but I don't know if it's a solid rule. I don't know. But listen, it doesn't matter. All right, because there is no such thing because the boxer picks the count up from the ref. That's it. 8:05. 8:05. You're live.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Nacho, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Nothing much, guys. Just here listening to Georgie go off once again.
It's off the rails, son.
Yeah, man. But he means well.
You sound like his grandmother. You know, like he means well. What was it? Not a whole lot going on this past weekend, but I just wanted to talk about Navarrete and Villa. A lot of people thought Villa was going to give Navarrete a tough fight this past weekend, and he went out there and he basically, took him apart as far as being able to, hit him with some hard shots, and then especially some shots that he just kind of felt like he just winged and was able to land, and his power ended up being the difference in the fight, because if it wasn't for the knockdowns, those judges might have scored it a draw, which I thought was ridiculous. I thought Navarrete won that fight easily. I had him winning 16-10 on my card. So I just thought it was kind of interesting that the judges, had he not gotten the 2 knockdowns, they would have legitimately almost scored it a draw for Villa, and I didn't think Villa won anywhere near 5 rounds in that fight, to be honest. So, a little surprising, but Navarrete got the win, and that's what matters. It'll be interesting to see who Top Rank puts in there against him, because they don't have a whole lot at 126 to choose from. So unless they can make a unification,
fight for him or something. I don't know what kind of a opposition they're really going to be able to give him. I don't know if you guys know of anybody you guys think outside of Zukan and Josh Warrington that he can legitimately fight in that division that isn't involved with the PBC.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here.
Yeah,
I really don't. I'll be honest. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the head scratcher with that one because he doesn't have a whole lot of options as far as I can see. But I don't know. I guess they'll probably give him a bunch of title defenses, and then eventually he'll probably move up to 130. I think that's probably what's going to happen, just like he did at 22. But we'll see what happens. Liam Williams fought this past weekend, and even though it was a
already knocked the guy out,
I was surprised how quickly. Yeah, he knocked the guy out. I was like, oh, wow. So, I mean, he is Andre's mandatory, but does that fight ever happen, you guys think, against Andre? Because it kind of feels like Andre's just sitting there, like, waiting for Saunders or Canelo to give him a payday, and, he's not doing anything. So I'm just wondering if that fight ever happens between him and Liam Williams at this point.
I don't know.
I think it could be a really good fight.
I mean, yeah, I don't know because nobody wants to fight each other right now because they're not going to get the money they would get otherwise, and I don't know, man. Liam Williams, I mean, I don't know. I think he should go ahead and fight him, but if he can get that, I'm not sure that he can get that at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Tough. And then you guys were talking about the Stieglitz Bozell fight, right? Is that the one you were talking about with the refs and him basically telling Bozell that he could continue even though he looked like he was completely out on his feet?
No, we didn't get that one.
Oh, okay, because I heard you guys say something about the referee picking up a count.
That we were talking about it. Yeah,
fight,
somebody had posed a question in the chat.
Eric, you were right. Apparently, what the argument was they're saying Moran picked up the count at 1 when where the timekeeper apparently was at 3 or 4.
Yeah, and I just read this is from Georgia, I guess the state of Georgia, and granted it's the state of Georgia, not any, but I imagine if it's in one state, it's kind of goes with all the states here. Georgia's not a big boxing town, so I imagine they get their rules from the other states in Nevada, just like everybody else. It says in the event, it says number 7 timekeepers, number assigned per bout. 2 licensed timekeepers assigned by the commission shall be required at each event. 1 to keep time and 1 to count for the knockdowns.
Yeah, so I guess he does use the timekeeper to pick up the count after he ushers the guy to the neutral corner. But once he picks up the count, then it's up to him on the cadence. But here's the thing. Apparently, he did not pick up the timekeeper's count correctly because he started at 1 when allegedly the timekeeper was at 3 or 4.
Right.
So then what was the repercussions of him doing that? Nothing happened.
Well, and if you want to punish anybody, then punish the ref, but you can't punish the fighter for that. You know what I mean? Because the fighter listens to the ref.
That's what Larry Hazard said in this article.
Right.
There's an article about it. And what it says is, I think Mills Lane chimed in and he says, you don't punish the fighter because he's following the referee's count. You punish, it's the referee. You criticize the referee. He's the one that should be held for the mistake.
Right.
But once again, the referee made that mistake. What was done about it? If he didn't pick up the correct count, then what happened? Nothing was done.
Nothing. And let me tell you what, if they don't punish Adelaide Bird for some of her scorecards, they're not going to punish that ref. You know what I'm saying?
Technically, he is supposed to pick up that count. But what if he doesn't? What happens? There's no rule that says if he doesn't, then it's an illegitimate count.
Right.
Right. So what's the sense of him? What's the sense of having that rule that he has to pick up the count? But if there's no repercussions if he doesn't.
I think they could dispute it. I think they would probably have grounds to dispute it.
But it's happened.
They could dispute the outcome, right? But that's the thing is that it very rarely. I've never seen a time where a decision has been reversed.
No, remember the
other than for a drug test. Yeah.
Remember the Lucien Butte fight? Who did he fight? Who's that guy he fought? Where the referee didn't pick up the count correctly in that fight, and he. Well, Andre. He fought Andre. Yeah, the super middleweight fight, right?
Yeah.
And he counted to. There was like 15 seconds, and he didn't even stop the count. He didn't even look at the timekeeper, and he just started the count when he wanted to start the count. No one said anything about that.
Yeah.
So again, these referees are supposed to pick up the count from the timekeeper, but a lot of times they don't.
Right.
And when they do, they it's wrong. So again, there's no rule that says if they don't pick it up correctly that the knockdown that the count is irrelevant.
Right.
So
Nacho, go ahead.
Sorry, Nacho.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I kind of agree with you guys. I've seen too many fights where the ref will try to look at what the count is from the timekeeper that's outside the ring. But a lot of times they don't even get that right. Like I've seen guys where the timekeeper on the outside has 4 fingers up and the ref starts at 3. And I'm like, wait a minute. The guy
that's my point.
4 fingers up. Like, what the hell?
That's my point.
Yeah,
that the ref, a lot of times the ref picks up the count incorrectly from the timekeeper and nothing gets done about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you guys are right. Yeah, that's just, it's terrible. But I mean, Eric's right. If they don't discipline these so-called judges for their horrible scorecards, I seriously doubt they're going to discipline referees for having the wrong count.
Boxing's the one sport where you don't get punished for fucking up if you're an official.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the problem with the sport. Yeah, is that too many guys get away with too many things. I mean, boxing's the only sport where you can take PEDs and not really lose anything because guys just don't fight.
Right.
And so they avoid suspensions and then they just come back like a year later and say, oh, well, I just took the time off or whatever. And it's like, what the hell? So, it's a horrible look for the sport, but unfortunately.
I've seen refs not even look at the timekeeper and start counting. I've seen them do that before too. But and the thing is, if nothing's going to be done, if nothing's really done about it, so like, how significant is that rule? Is my argument. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't,
no punishment.
And I'm done. I don't want to make the whole show about it, so I'm done right now. But sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. No, sorry. Yeah. So it's just and then real quick about the you guys have it up here about Lopez and Loma. I think Loma's gonna win. It's gonna be a really close fight.
Come on.
But I think he's gonna find a way to outbox Lopez and win. I mean, Beeb, I know you love Teofimo, but I mean, unless he
listen to the reasoning. Listen to the reasoning. He's gonna find a way. He's gonna go. He's gonna go into a magic hat.
Come on, now. You got to bring more than that, man.
And pull out a friggin'
pull out a rabbit.
Pull out a trick.
Pull a rabbit out, son.
He's gonna rub a magic lamp, and he's gonna find a way to get a wish to win the. Listen to this breakdown, Notch, please.
Hey, please, I don't know, man. I heard he rubbed a genie bottle before the fight, so I don't know.
He's gonna find a way. He's got the experience.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
He took out 2 guys who were bigger than he was in Luke Campbell and Jorge Linares. I think he's gonna find a way to do the same thing to Teofimo Lopez. He's gonna use his angles. He's gonna make him miss, and he's gonna counter, and he's gonna basically frustrate Lopez all night. And I think he's just gonna outbox him. To be honest, I don't see Lopez unless Lopez lands a legit power shot that Loma doesn't see. I can't see him winning that fight.
Which is going to happen several times. What you just described is going to happen several times in the fight.
Okay, Beeb.
All right, Notch, we're going to get running, man. Let's go ahead and get to this preview.
All right, guys.
That's going to happen several times in the fight. That's why he's going to. That's exactly why he is going to win. Jesus. I can't wait till next week. Oh my God, Sunday. When I wake up Sunday morning, man, oh my God, I'm gonna be so happy.
Is this gonna be like the Andy Ruiz Sunday morning though?
Eric,
I'm just saying. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm playing
Eric,
devil's advocate.
I know that you have Lomachenko posters.
You go. Let me tell you.
In your
Every
bathroom.
time there's a big fight, you go to a weird place. I'll be honest with you. You go to a weird place every time there's a big fight.
What?
Every time there's a big fight, you take a guy and you like ride or die with that guy. That guy can do no wrong. You got to see the whole picture, man.
What do you want me to be? You want me to be like Joe Biden and you want me to waffle?
Oh, how dare you? How dare you talk about
Biden? I'm going to be Biden and say I'm not for fracking and I want to ban fracking, and then the debate comes around and now
I want to be for fracking.
What do you want me to do when I'm with the guy? I'm with
Superfly Mike Pence. How about that?
When I'm with the guy, I'm with them. I don't jump off a bandwagon.
I do all the time. You ought to try it.
I made a pick 2 months ago and I'm sticking with it. That's it.
My guy is Don King. You remember Don King when his guy used to win? He was in the ring celebrating with him. When his guy lost, he was celebrating with the winner across.
You remember that kid? Do you remember that? Do you remember that kid that called in last week and he said, "Beeb, you made me a lot of money."
The guy from the car wash? Which one?
You made me a lot of money. Look at my historic picks over the years. Cotto over Martinez, 3-1 underdog. Bradley
didn't have any knees. He didn't have any knee. He didn't have any legs.
Again. This is what people do after I freaking make these historic picks. Now next week, you know what everyone's going to say? Lomachenko was too small. Teofimo Lopez could have put him in his back pocket.
He could have carried him around like a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
he could have stuck him in his back pocket.
All right, let's talk about this fight coming up here, man. Let me get to it. Let's see here. That's pretty much the only fight going on next week. Let me bring up the schedule here. And their undercard, their undercard is not that great on there either. Let me bring it up here. 2 seconds. All right. ESPN on, and this, you know what the great thing about this, Beeb? It's on ESPN, man. Lomachenko versus Lopez for the WBO, WBA, and IBF lightweight title. On the undercard, Arnold Barboza versus Alex Saucedo, 10 rounds, junior welterweights. Josue Vargas versus Kendo Castaneda, 10 rounds, junior welterweights. And then Edgar Berlanga versus Linnell Bellows, 8-round super middleweights. Your boy Clay Collard, hopefully they show this one. Clay Collard versus Quincy Levias, 8 rounds middleweights. I like Clay Collard, man. I like him a lot. Also on the 17th, on DAZN from Newcastle, England, Lewis Ritson versus Miguel Vasquez, 10 rounds, junior welterweights. And then a bunch of fights on there that I don't really, whatever. Beeb, is it fair to say DAZN has just dumped the bed when it comes to like fights this year?
We can't say that because guess what happens? Then all the friggin' DAZN fanboys come out and, why are you hating on DAZN? It's free. It's free.
Blah, blah, blah. It's bad. It's they really have put nothing on. And listen, I'm just saying from here to now, whatever they do in the future or whatever, because I know on Halloween, I think they got a good fight coming up. They just secured another fight. But I tell you, man, so far it's been the drizzling, you know what, man. It really has been. I
mean, I can go down the street and go to the bakery and get day-old bread for free too. But is it going to taste good? Is it?
And you know what? Bottom line is, it's not free. It's $20 for most people. I mean, that's that. Okay, it was on HBO. It's free, or it's on Showtime. It's free.
But Eric, why are you hating? Why are you hating on DAZN, Eric?
Right.
Would you rather pay $80?
Right.
Yeah, if I get the fights I want, I'll pay $80. Why not? What else am I going to do with $80?
Oh,
I don't smoke. Right. I don't drink. That's my love, boxing.
That's it. That's all we do. That's all we do. I mean, yeah, if we want to spend $80 on the fight, we'll spend $80 on the fight.
Again, Go look at the schedule this whole year. Name one fight that the Zone broadcast that was a pay-per-view fight that you could argue should have been on pay-per-view. Not a one. Not a one.
Well, that Lewis Ritson fight next week, I think, should be on pay-per-view. That's a good one, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's great. I'd pay for that.
Yeah, I'd pay for that too. Get a free bowl of soup with that one.
All right, let's break this one down, man. This is the big one, Beeb. I am really excited for this fight, man. And you know what makes this fight so intriguing for me is I don't know. I could see both guys winning in the sense that, like, I could see paths for both guys winning this fight. You know what I mean? And let's break it down here. So let's take it one by one here. Offense. All right, we're going to do the offense here. I think Lomachenko has a really good offense, and I think he's got decent power. But Teofimo is too explosive. You know who he reminds me of, Beeb, is Roy Jones. He reminds me a lot of Roy Jones. Very unorthodox, punching from all different angles. I don't think that there's any question here that you have to give Teofimo the nod when it comes to offense. And Loma's good too. But Teofimo, I think, is just a little bit more powerful, a little bit more explosive. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I say Teofimo because, again, this is a guy that can hurt you with any punch he throws, no matter where he places it. He's knocked guys out. Again, he's landing these punches, and people's faces are like, and they're just like they react as though they're getting shocked with a cattle prong, and they're just like, oh, and they drop. Yeah.
I mean, it's scary. I mean, he's got scary power. Drop
dead power with either hand, whether to the head or the body. And again, look at some of these punches he's landing. They're traveling like 3 inches and they're generating power. That's the thing. Go look at that right hand that he landed against Richard Comey. It was a picture perfect, short little corkscrew, short right hand.
Yeah.
The punch traveled 5 inches and he knocked him out with it.
The other thing to keep in mind here is Teofimo is also the bigger guy. Lomachenko is
much bigger guy
coming up in weight. And Lomachenko, you know, he has beaten bigger fighters, but he has looked vulnerable against bigger fighters too. I would venture to say too that Teofimo is stronger.
Much stronger.
I would say that. I would say that he's stronger.
Much stronger.
Let's go to defense now. Who's better on defense? To me, you know, Lomachenko is almost unhittable when he's on his game. And I believe he's the best defender in the game today. And I don't think there's any question that he takes a nod in this category. I do not think that while Teofimo can defend and everything like that, I don't think he's on that level of defense. I really don't.
I'm going to say the defense is even.
Really?
I'm going to say it's even.
Okay.
Teofimo doesn't get hit a lot either. But to be fair,
his fights don't go that far either.
There is a different level.
Out.
Yeah. But again, we've never seen Teofimo get hit a lot in a fight. So I'm going to say the defense is even.
All right. Boxing ability. All right. Lomachenko has 2 Olympic medals, is a 3-division world champion, and only has 15 fights. I think it's pretty safe to say his boxing ability is not in question. Lopez, to me, is a little bit more unorthodox, which I think could help him here. But it could also cause problems if Loma's ready for that type of style, which I suspect he will be. What are your thoughts on the boxing ability?
Well, I talked about this earlier today, boxing ability. A lot of times people think because a guy's more conventional, because his style is more aesthetically pleasing, because usually the guys that move and they fight on the outside, like Muhammad Ali, master boxer. Why? Because he fought on the outside.
Right.
But Roberto Duran is a swarmer. He's a swarmer.
He's a master boxer.
But he can box.
For sure.
When I look at boxing ability, I look at a guy who has a style that works for him and he's effective with it, and knows how to set up his offense efficiently off of that style. Teofimo is just a different type of fighter because he's an active, reactive type fighter. Lomachenko is not. So Lomachenko is more of a traditional boxer in the sense that he does things more conventional. And because a fighter does things more conventional, automatically we say he's more of a boxer.
Correct. Yeah. I mean,
you got a guy in Lopez with an 80% knockout ratio, but again, boxing helped him set up those knockouts. But to be fair, we can maybe give Lomachenko the edge in that, based off of his experience and his style. He does use his boxing more to win fights because he's won more decisions. And that's based off of boxing. Whereas Lopez, most of his fights end in knockout. So he's shown less boxing ability because he hasn't had to rely on boxing ability primarily alone. The power has more or less been the deciding factor in the fights, more so than the boxing. Whereas Lomachenko has relied more on the boxing and lesser on the knockout. So we can give the edge to Lomachenko in this area. But in my opinion, it's not that great. It's not a, in other words, when you look at his boxing ability and you match it up to anyone else he's faced, it's like miles. Here we can say we're going to give him the nod. I'm going to give him the nod, but I don't think it's as significant as in other situations with other fighters. I think it's close enough where, you can compare the two in boxing ability. I don't think he wins this one. I don't think he wins this category by a country mile, in other words, to break it down in simplistic terms. Gotcha.
Let's talk about the X Factor. To me, this is a no-brainer here. The X Factor for me belongs to Teofimo. You don't know what he's going to do next. I think that's the crazy thing. He's so explosive, and he's always a threat until the bell rings because he's got that power. And that's what makes this fight, to me, so interesting. Fights like this, for me, I tell you what, always come down to the weigh-in. It really does. It's like you want to see what they look like and everything like that at the weigh-in, if there's any keys in there that you could see, any edges. But I think just because it's Teofimo's style, it gives him the advantage in the X Factor.
So, Eric, let's be honest. We've checked off more boxes for Lopez than we did Lomachenko.
No, you've checked off more boxes.
Well, because how many boxes? You did too.
No, I've got Lomachenko on offense, I'm sorry, Teofimo on offense, and Teofimo is the X Factor. I've got Loma as boxing ability and Loma on defense.
So you got it a push. So
I got it dead even.
Okay, I stand corrected. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. What do the odds say on this fight? I know Lomachenko's favorite, but what are the odds? It's like 4-1 or something crazy.
No, Lopez is plus 250. Lomachenko is a minus 350. So it's close to a little bit under a 3-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems to me. I tell you what, man,
right? It's wide. Everyone says it's a 50-50 fight. It's wide. How can you not put money on Lopez here?
Yeah, I you know what? I hear you, man. The only other, when we talked about this, the one, and I'm like racking my brain, I'm thinking, well, we heard this before, Lomachenko.
Notch, please put the pom-pom, put those Loma pom-pom. Again,
Homer.
You probably have Lomachenko underoos on right now. You have a set,
Matrix on him. It says Matrix on him.
You have a set of friggin' Lopez pajamas at your house right now with the footies.
Those are comfortable too. I like the footies. All right. So let me ask you. So I see where you bet, like I said, I mean, it's a wide, so I don't think you have much to lose on Lopez. I mean, to me, it is a pretty even fight. And so I was racking my brain thinking, well, when was the last time we saw Lomachenko in like an even type fight? And I go to two. I go to Gary Russell, but he was actually favored, I believe, in the Gary Russell fight. The other one was Guillermo Rigondeaux, where when we talked to people,
he was still favored in that
fight. He was, but when we talked to people, it was split 50-50.
But we picked Loma in that fight. We just Rigondeaux was older. He was too small.
And we picked Loma in that fight. Yeah.
I felt really comfortable Loma was going to win this one.
But I didn't pick. I didn't see that coming. The way he dismantled Gary Russell, the way he dismantled Guillermo either.
These
were lighter guys.
let me
This is
ask
a different animal.
Let me ask you a question. I
Sure.
apologize for breaking your train of thought because we'll go
Oh.
right back to what you were saying. Put a bookmark on that one. What I'm hearing a lot of, and I need your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Beeb, this is going to be exactly like Canelo Mayweather.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
These are two completely different fighters. Yeah, these are two completely different fighters.
Stop it.
No, I don't think so.
That's the stupidest. With all due respect, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. Like, why are people saying that?
Who knows?
The only common thing this has is the age difference. Yeah, Lopez is 23. Lomachenko's 32.
Well,
and even that's not really comparable. Because Mayweather was 37 and Canelo was 23.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man, they're two very different fighters. If you think like the fight is going to look the same, I hear it. I can see it, but I don't know. That's what, I could see this going any number of ways. I can see Lopez knocking him out, but I can see Lomachenko knocking him out. I can see Lomachenko winning a decision. I
don't see Lomachenko knocking him out though. I could be wrong. I
think he can. I think he absolutely could.
I don't think it's impossible that he knocks him
right.
out, but I think that's the most likely of all scenarios, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's time for the picks, man. Who do you got and why?
I got Can I go first?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to, because I don't want to take over here. I always do anyway. So what the fuck am I doing?
What does it matter?
What difference does it make? I'm a blowhard. We all know that. All right. So I'm taking Lopez by knockout in 8 rounds.
Okay.
Why? Because again, I've never seen a fighter with such reaction time, such explosiveness. He's the most dynamic fighter that I've seen since Manny Pacquiao. And I think everyone's talking about Lomachenko, how he moves, comes in, does this, does that. But again, I think he's a pattern fighter. I think what he does exceptionally well, but his attack patterns are repetitious. The way he moves, I see he goes from side to side. I brought this up several times, but he always, when he attacks, he always goes right to the middle and shoots straight in and fight and plants himself in the mid range of that pocket. He doesn't come in from the angles. Now you got to time him. You got to time him for when he does stop. But when you have a guy like Lopez who has that reaction time, who can just see things, if you give him that much space for a millisecond, he reacts so quickly and adapts so quickly to what's going on in front of him. That's the big difference here. And on top of the reaction time, being able to react, being adaptive reactive, as I said, meaning whatever you do, he can counteract it immediately. But when you add on to that the explosiveness and the power on top of that, that's a recipe for danger for anybody. So, Sugar Ray Leonard made a statement before, and I'm going to quote him. There's a point in time in every fight where you have to stand and fight. You can't move the whole fight. There's a point where you got to stand and fight. You got to hold your ground and get that guy's respect.
Yeah.
Credit to Loma. He did it in the Luke Campbell fight. But when he did do it, Campbell had some success up against the ropes inside, dig into the body of Loma. Okay? He had some success there. There's going to be a time in this fight where Loma's going to get pinned down. He can't move the whole fight. He's going to have to stand and fight. Lopez is going to be too explosive, too quick, too fast. And all that movement that Lomachenko is going to do in this fight, Lopez is going to see it all coming. He's going to be able to adapt and react to it. And if Loma gives him an inch for a split second, that's more than enough for him to capitalize and land a hellacious hook or right hand. And he's going to get hit. And he's going to get hit like he's never been hit before against a guy that he's never felt power like before. A guy who this is arguably this isn't even arguably. This is the first time in his professional career, in my opinion, that he's going to be in there with someone just as fast as him, and arguably maybe even faster. So how's he going to deal with this guy's speed, this guy's explosiveness? How's he going to react to punches he doesn't see coming? The shoe's going to be on the other foot this time. And on top of all that, it's coming from a younger, bigger, stronger, and arguably faster man. What's going to happen? How's he going to deal with that? He's dealing with a situation that he's never dealt before. And you can argue the same for Lopez, but Lopez is equipped physically better to handle this task than Lomachenko is. Lomachenko's a tiny guy. He's not a one-punch knockout guy. What happens if he doesn't make Lopez quit like he made these other guys quit? Because if you allow this guy to hang around and he lands that one big shot, what's going to happen? So I just think Lopez is going to be dangerous from the opening bell till however long this fight lasts, and I just see him landing a big shot and taking Lomachenko out of there. I just see it.
It's possible. It's very possible.
And one last point, and I know a lot of people want to erase this from the history books, but he did get bullied, outmuscled, and manhandled against a guy like Salido, who on fight night was significantly bigger than him. People want to talk about how that was light years away, which it was. But he's never been put in that same situation again where he could prove that he could overcome that same adversity. And he'll be in there with a guy that will be significantly bigger, that will weigh significantly more, and will be able to use the size and the strength better than anyone else has been able to do since Salido. He still has never shown me or shown any of us, in my opinion, that he could be in a rough and tumble fight and come out on top of it. He never had to go back and answer that question that was posed for him originally by Salido. So that's still in the back of my mind, that fight. I can't erase that from the history books. I don't care how long ago it was.
You know what fight stays in my mind when I think about this fight? Salido was the second fight in Loma's career. Stepping in against a guy like Salido in his second fight of his career, that's pretty major. But when I think about this fight, the one fight that stands out, and it's very recent, was Lopez's fight before Richard Comey. And you can say what you want. He had a bunch of stuff going on. He had a bunch of this and a bunch of that going on. His mom wasn't talking to him, blah, blah, blah. And he looked terrible in that fight. He looked terrible in that fight. And I couldn't even imagine Loma in there on that night. Now, he came back against Comey and looked great. Okay? He did. He came back and he looked great, but he looked completely average. I've never seen Lomachenko look completely average in a fight.
Lopez or Lomachenko?
Lopez when he fought, I got fight you. Before Comey. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what, but even that being said, I wouldn't bet this fight because I'll be honest, I don't know who wins. And I'm going to give you my idea here of who I think is going to win and why. But even I'm not 100% that's going to happen. That's because I think this fight is so close. That's what makes this such a great fight. For me, it comes down to one thing. When you strip everything down and you get down to brass tacks, good defense stops good offense. I don't care what sport you're talking about. I don't care if you're talking about baseball. I don't care if you're talking about football. Good defense stops good offense almost 100% of the time. And if Lomachenko is difficult to hit, like we all expect he may be, how's this going to affect Lopez as the fight goes on? Are we going to see Lopez get frustrated or will he remain calm? I don't know. Those are questions he hasn't been able to answer. I've seen Lomachenko in a lot of big fights, and he makes good fighters look ordinary. I mean, really good fighters look ordinary. I don't see that with Teofimo because he's young, because he doesn't have the resume that Loma has. I get it. All right. But here's something else to think about too. I think a loss here hurts Lomachenko more than it hurts Lopez. Lopez may be able to come back after a loss like this, depending on, how it is. But if Loma loses decisively by like a wide decision or a knockout, that's going to be it for him. I really believe that.
He's getting stopped.
I think it would be difficult for him to make a comeback after that. So I think Loma actually has a lot more on the line here than Lopez, believe it or not. And the bottom line is, man, until I see him beaten decisively, I got to take him to win. And my pick is Vasyl Lomachenko by unanimous decision.
I got one question for you.
Sure.
If Lopez lands a right hand or lands the same right hand that Linares lands on Lomachenko, does Lomachenko recover?
Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't get hit. I don't know.
I'm going to say no. I don't think Lopez,
the other thing
I don't think, and especially recently, because Pedraza was touching him. Luke Campbell, who's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's a very skilled boxer, he was touching Lomachenko a lot.
One thing to keep in mind, though.
Like, he's going to get hit. He's not going to be able to evade every single punch. And
he will get hit, for sure.
And one punch is all it's going to take. It really, really is. This guy's got freaky power.
But, I tell you, what's funny, though, is that, like, when you watch guys like Bernard Hopkins, when you watch guys like Pernell Whitaker who have a really good defense, and I'm not comparing him to those guys, because I think it's a different style, he's got a different thing than those guys. They all tend to slow the fight down and make the fighters fight their fight.
Yeah. But you want to know the difference?
I think he does the same.
But you want to know the difference between him and those guys? His defense is his legs primarily. He maneuvers his way out of danger with his legs. Mm-hmm. Go watch him. He doesn't have a lot of head and shoulder upper body. Like those other guys could move, but they also could stand right in front of you,
right,
inches away from you, and make little short, subtle movements. His legs are everything. And at some point, you can't move. He's going to get pinned down. When you watch him up against the ropes, like when you watch Bernard Hopkins get pinned up against the ropes, Mayweather get pinned up, they're sitting there going like this. This guy is all legs. He's legs. He's like steps around you, moves in and out. He's like this. Everything is legs. He doesn't. And when he stops, go back and watch. He goes move, stops in the middle, and then slides in and attacks. Those are the times in the mid-range when he gets hit.
Do you think, let me ask you a question. Who do you think has the better resume here?
Without question, Lomachenko.
Without question, right?
Without question.
So he's fought a lot bigger fights.
Same thing with Fury. Who had the better resume, Fury or Klitschko? Klitschko.
Yeah, I guess Klitschko did. Yeah, Klitschko.
No, by a country mile. By a country mile when Fury fought him.
Yeah.
You're on. I cannot argue that Lomachenko doesn't have more experience at this level. I cannot argue that he doesn't have the better resume.
Sure.
My argument here is, and I said this earlier, my pick is based solely on the eye test.
Right.
This guy Lopez, to me, and again, this is going to sound over the top, but he is a phenom. In 2 years, this guy's going to be the best fighter in the world, in my opinion. Just like I told everyone about everyone, the whole world laughed at me. I was coming home seeing eggs and tomatoes thrown on my doorstep. Beeb, you're an idiot. People were spray painted it on my car door. Beeb, you're
terrible, Beeb.
People destroyed me when I was telling them that Fury was going to beat Klitschko.
That's awesome.
Fury was going to beat Klitschko. I got laughed at for years.
I hate that you had to go through that.
Okay, I had to go to therapy and everything because of that. That's how bad it was.
I bet.
And the way I was riding Fury, and I was so high on Fury, we're in another situation, guys. 7 years later, 6 years later, we're in the same situation. You're all laughing at me now. Beeb, shut up. You're an idiot. Keep it coming. This is going to make the victory that much sweeter. This is going to be like an orgasm next week that doesn't end. That doesn't end. I'm coming for all you motherfuckers next week. All of you.
You need to get out more if that's what you think, buddy. I mean, get Tinder or something like that. You need to get out more. You need to get out more, son.
This is special. This is special. This is
special.
This is when we have a big fight like this, doesn't come along.
Especially now. If ever, I think we can agree on this. If we've ever needed a big fight, 2020 is the time. Right now, we needed a big fight, man.
How many Lopez people? Oh, now everyone's saying I picked Fury too. Get the fuck out of here! You fucking bullshit artists, you Monday morning quarterbacks. None of you fucking picked Fury. Go back and show me a prediction video dated freaking 2000. What was that fight? 2015. I want to see a prediction video. I want to see a prediction video with the date on it before the fight happened. You fucking Monday morning quarterbacks. Yeah, Dwyer. Me and Dwyer were the only ones that picked Fury. No one else. Maybe G Funky. I don't know. G Funky may have done it too.
Yeah, next week's show, Notorious said next week's show is going to be fun. Next week's show is going to be a blast. Trust me. So here's what I'm thinking, Beeb, and I don't know. I guess we'll play it by ear, but do you want to do a post-fight show?
What I want to do.
I don't want to do a live commentary because I want to watch the fight. I want to watch a fight.
I'll do both. I'll do a post fight.
Because, the thing is, like, everybody's going to be watching the fight.
This is what,
what I'm saying?
Well, they love when I do the post fights. They love when I do the live commentary. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'll do. 100%. I do the best. I do the best live commentaries of.
You sound like Trump. I do the best. I do the best. Check the polls. Yeah, right. I'm
a Trump supporter. Check the polls. But this is what I'll do. This is what I'll do. This is what I'll do. I'll send you a link to my live cast, right? And you just click.
We'll just jump right on. Yeah, we'll just jump right on.
One at the end, and then we'll recap.
Yeah.
Good enough?
Yeah, that's perfect, man. And then we might do a show, depending on when the weigh-in is. If I can dice down the weigh-in or whatever, maybe we'll do a post-fight or a post-weigh-in show.
All week. I'll call in sick if I have to get these shows.
This is such a big fight week. I mean, this is huge.
Read this. Post this. What did Mike post this thing from Mike O'Brien right here? Post it. Post it. Put it up there. Put it up there.
What are we looking at here?
We watch it with Beeb and make our money. Good luck. There we go.
Good luck for there you go. Mob life.
Here come the Beaver maniacs.
Michael O'Brien, who has his mob life on there.
Trump's going to win in a landslide. I'd mark my words.
Oh, stop it.
Those polls are jacked.
Yeah, right. Everything's jacked. Everything's phony,
Jacked.
Those coronavirus numbers are fake too,
All right, let's not bring up the coronavirus.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that anymore.
I'm so sick of listening to coronavirus.
So yeah, man. So we got a big week here, and we'll be talking about it. I'm sure we'll have some shows during the week and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be good, man. It really will be. I can't wait for the fight, to be honest with you. And I made my pick and everything, but who knows who's going to win? I don't know, and that's what makes the fight so great. It's a 50 to me. On paper, it's a 50-50 fight. It really is, man. So I can't wait. Boxing with Sean. Sean says Trump will win big. How dare you?
Put that up there. There you go.
Oh, wow.
There you go. There you go.
What does he care? He's living in what, Singapore or something like that?
All right. He has an absentee ballot. He has an absentee ballot. He's mailing it in.
He's voting for the Singapore Prime Minister or whatever they got over there.
He used to be a U.S. citizen. He can still vote. He's mailing it in.
That's why he moved. That's probably why he moved,
He's mailing it in. He's mailing it in.
All right, real quick, we're going to run through these news and rumors here. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury scrapped? I don't know. This came out yesterday that the fight may be in jeopardy, but Shelley Finkel came out, Wilder's manager, and said that nothing has changed. However, Bob Arum spoke with TalkSport today and gave the following statement. When asked if the Gypsy King would be fighting Wilder or someone else next, Arum told TalkSport, that's up to Tyson, because if we can't, as appears is going to be the case, put Wilder and Fury on this year, Tyson wants to keep busy, and we're going to accommodate him. Then next year, assuming Joshua beats Pulev, we can look forward to a Fury versus Joshua fight. When asked about what Shelly Finkel said, he said, listen, there are no dates in December. He said, there aren't any dates in December. You have to understand, in the U.S., because of the pandemic, we are loaded with college football games and professional league games, which are massively popular in the United States, kind of like your Premier League games are massively popular in the UK. On December 19th, when we really hope to stage the fight with Fury and Wilder, we were informed by both ESPN, which handles Fury, and Fox, which handles Wilder, that December 19th isn't available because there are 5 college football championships that day, which are massive, and 2 NFL games. Right.
Jesus Christ.
December 19th can't occur, and there are no other available dates where Wilder versus Fury fight can happen in December. That leaves Tyson Fury. If he wants to do a fight in December, then we'll have to do it with another opponent in the UK. And then hopefully, if he's successful and Joshua is successful on December 12th, we will look forward to talking about the Fury versus Joshua fight sometime in the spring of next year. Wow.
Frank Warren came out and said that if there's not a Wilder fight this year, that Tyson Fury is going to fight in December regardless. He came out and said that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, listen, you may have a rematch clause, but you can't just hijack. You know what I'm saying? You can't just hijack it and say, listen, you got to fight in a timely fashion. You know what I mean? If the other guy wants to fight, listen, it is what it is. And didn't they were gonna fight earlier, and didn't Wilder get injured or something like that, or what was the deal with that? I can't remember.
They ended up pushing it back, I guess, because they wanted to give him more time because of the nature of the second fight, I guess. But
yeah,
here's the thing: there's got to be some time limit in which this rematch clause has to take place. In other words, we can't be going into 2022 and this fight still not taking place, and the rematch clause is still going to be upheld here.
Right.
At some point, there's got to be some time later, a statute of limitations on this rematch clause.
I agree.
Bob, I asked Bob that question, and he was very evasive about it. He wouldn't answer. So.
Right. What are you going to do?
Sometimes a no answer means yes. I'm not going to say that's the case, but I suspect very strongly that there is a time limit in which this fight has to take place before the rematch clause does get voided out, in my opinion. Right. Going by using empirical data, because usually in other situations, when fights had rematch clauses in them, there was always a time frame in which the fight had to take place in order for the rematch clause to stay valid. So we'll see what happens.
It is. Terence Crawford and Kell Brook is official. The fight is scheduled for November 14th. Wow. Kell Brook's trainer, Dominic Ingle, will reportedly not train Kell Brook for this fight, citing location issues. Apparently, Kell Brook wanted to train somewhere that Ingle's got a bunch of fighters he's working with, so he can't really pick up and go. So,
bad move. That's a bad move.
I think it's a bad move, too. I think that I just – listen, the fight would have been great a couple years ago. Kell Brook is a big name. Kell Brook's a big name on his resume and everything like that, but Crawford's going to run right through this guy.
I'm a big Dominic Ingle fan, though, as a trainer. I like him as a trainer.
Yeah, I do too. I think in the biggest fight of your life, you would want him in your corner. So who do you get now if you're Kell Brook? You know what I'm saying? I mean, who are you?
That's the point. Like, you don't want to go with someone else in the biggest fight of your life. It just, to me, it's just not a good.
I think arguably, though, he's had the biggest fights of his life. I mean, I'll be honest with you. He's already had the biggest fights of his life. Sean Porter, Triple G, Errol Spence. He's already had the biggest fights of his life. This is a big fight for him. Don't get me wrong, but he's already had the biggest fights.
You know what? I guess you could argue that the Triple G could
that was definitely the biggest fight of his life.
That could probably be the biggest fight. So
yeah.
This is the second biggest fight of his career.
And he did well. But
I'm a big Kell Brook fan. I like Kell Brook.
I like Kell Brook too. And I'm a big Dominic like you. I'm a big Ingle fan too. Yeah, I like him.
I like Ingle.
But do you give Kell Brook much of a shot here?
No, 0.
Even with Dominic Ingle, would you give him much of a shot here?
0.1.
I wouldn't even give him that.
It was at 0.1. Now we're at 0.
Yeah, there you go.
And I say that with every ounce of respect that I can muster.
Oh yeah, I love Kell Brook, man. I think he's a good fight. I really like him a lot, man. I really do.
Look at them arguing in the chat about fucking pot. Like,
they're still going on about that, are they? Yeah,
how do these discussions just spiral into something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, because I mentioned Trump or something. Oh, you mentioned Trump.
Right.
It's
we mentioned Trump or we mentioned the election or something like that, and they
now
just
this
they
whole
run
thing
with
is
it.
going to be now they went down a rabbit hole that they just can't get out.
Spence and Garcia has been set. Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. The fight has been moved to December 5th at AT&T Stadium, and we'll have fans. The fight was actually moved. I believe it was for November 26th or something like that. And that's the day Khabib is fighting for the UFC. There's a pay-per-view on there. It's just not a good idea. Plus, if they moved it back another week, I think they could have fans. I think that was the deal. Listen, man, I'll tell you what, I'm not big on the whole fans thing in boxing right now or anywhere. I don't know how you're going to social distance that. But, I mean, if they're going to do it, let them do it, whatever. It's not my problem.
So you don't want to see it even in a limited capacity?
No, I don't think. I think we should have every one of them, just like the Top Rank is doing with that little studio or whatever. Okay. They should all be like that. And PBC is doing the same thing. They should all be like, they should not have fans right now.
Just wait it out.
What was it? The governor of Florida had authorized the football teams there to go ahead and pack the stadiums. He was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just pack them. It's all right.
He doesn't care.
Really? Like, dude.
He doesn't care anymore.
Look how many people they had that Rose Garden thing and how many people got infected there. They had another, they're having these gatherings all over and people are getting sick. I don't want to see anybody get sick, man.
No.
We could watch this on TV, man. Just relax with it.
Especially our fearless president, man. We need him at 100%, man.
Oh, Jesus. Our fearless president.
We have a warrior for our president right now. See how he battles back. He's putting his life on the line for us.
The one who thumbs his nose at science, that guy.
Science is ever changing.
Science is ever changing?
Ever changing.
Yeah, but he thumbs his nose at science. So what does it matter? He doesn't believe in science.
Believes in everything.
Yet the scientists saved him, with that vaccination he got.
The doctor saved him.
Because it was science that got the vaccination there. What's the matter with you?
There's like 10 there's like all these different experts that have all different opinions on this virus. No one is on board 100% with everyone else. Everyone's contradicting everybody.
Oh my goodness.
One day masks are good, one day masks are bad.
Masks have always been good.
Not according to Fauci.
Oh, stop it. We can go down that rabbit hole. We're not going to. Luke Campbell versus Ryan Garcia set for December 5th. Good fight?
Yes.
You think Ryan Garcia gets him?
No. I like Luke Campbell.
Wow, you picking Luke Campbell in that fight. Okay.
Campbell.
Wow, I got Ryan Garcia big in that fight, man.
Yeah, most people do, but I like Luke Campbell.
Yeah. I like Luke Campbell too, but just not in this fight, man. I like him. Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce finally is official for November 28th, and I cannot wait for November 29th so we don't have to see or hear from Joe Joyce again.
That's a very mean-spirited thing to say. You don't want to ever see this guy box again. How's he going to earn a living? He's got
There's always barber college.
Eric. Guy's 30 years old. You want him to start his life all over again?
It's not my problem.
I
don't want to see him on my TV.
You lose once in the sport of boxing and automatically your career is over?
For him, it will be, yeah.
Did you ever wake up, have a bad day at work?
No, I haven't.
Imagine.
My supervisors would probably say different, but no, I haven't. All right. Quickly, let's go to the phone here. 443. I think this is Baltimore. Quickly. 443, you're live.
Yeah, y'all hear me?
Yay, what's up? This is Wood.
Hello?
Yes.
What's up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, what's up, man? I want this Lomachenko situation, man. It's like this. This how I see the Lomachenko situation. Lomachenko do his best work going forward. And you look at all the fights, he go forward and he create a lot of openings with his feet, with his footwork. He create a lot of openings with his footwork, and he use a lot of hand traps in his feet. But he uses his feet more than his hands. And he do a lot of pivoting. And so once you pivot, if you don't move with him, then
that's an opening, and that's how he gets all his openings. And sometimes he do double and triple pivots. I don't believe all that's going to be effective. Those moves ain't going to be that effective with Teofimo, because he's going to push him forward. He's going to push him backwards. And once you start pushing him backwards, y'all never seen nobody push Lomachenko backwards. I think once he go backwards, you're not going to see all those pivots. You're not going to see all those hand traps and see all those fancy moves, because
this is a great call right now.
Hello?
This is your best call of all time. I can hear you. This is your best call of all time.
Yeah. You're not going to see all of those. You're not going to see all those fancy moves, because he's going to be going back. He is going to push him backwards, and he's going to be catching them. He's going to catch him with clean shots. And another thing, Lopez he's an underrated counterpuncher. So if Lomachenko do come forward, he gonna run him into a shot. That's the same way he caught Richard Coleman. He ran him into a shot and put him to sleep. This fight is not going past 8 rounds, man. It's going to take him out. And that's why they've been begging for this fight for the longest, because style make fights, and Lomachenko's style fits right into what Lopez does, and he's going to take him out of there, man. That's all I got to say about that.
Best call of the night.
Call of the night right there from Wood, Baltimore, representing. That was a good call, man. He broke it down, and
See, this is what we need. This is the breakdown for all the Loma fans. Oh, he's just a better boxer. But you notice the Lopez people who are picking Lopez. We're giving actual breakdowns. Well, to fairness to you, you gave a good breakdown.
I gave a good breakdown. I'm just saying.
I would never disrespect you. You gave a good breakdown. Plus, no, you're on the payroll. We're not going to hurt you. But here's the thing. All these other Loma fans, oh, he's just going to outbox him. Oh, he's just going to be too much for him. What kind of breakdown is that? That's a lazy breakdown with no research, no analytical ability brought to the table. Where's the analytics? Nothing. You're giving us nothing.
Oh man. All right, guys, stay tuned this week. Like I said, I'm gonna look to do a hopefully we can do a after weigh-in show on Friday, and then we're gonna look to do a post-fight show. Beeb's gonna do a live show, and then hopefully we can do a live post-fight show right after the fight too. So we'll see how it goes and everything like that. Hopefully we'll be able to get everything going. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at ringside73, and we will see you next week.